We've been tracking snowfall across much of central Missouri. Not going to see any more additional accumulation, but taking a look at the totals we saw earlier before a lot of the melting. Columbia 1.8 inches, Vienna and Marys County 4 inches, Vandalia 1 inch, Ashland 1.4, and down to the southeast near Rolla and St. James, about 3 inches so far for snowfall. Thankfully, temperatures pretty much stayed just above that freezing mark or just hit that square on the money, but this afternoon we're going to continue to warm back up into the mid-30s, so that's going to lead to a little bit more melting. Then we're going to start that cooling trend throughout the overnight hours. We're going to be tracking winds back out of the northwest, and the wind chills going to be a little bit cooler tonight. So if you're going to be out and about, we're going to be back into the lower teens. Have some layering on hand. Not a bad idea to have a little bit of a windbreaker too, just to kind of cut down that wind, keep you warm. Now overnight lows tonight going to be back into the upper teens to lower 20s, looking at 20 degrees in Columbia. Jefferson City 22, Osage Beach 19 degrees, and off to the west, Boonville 20 degrees. Like I said, going to be a cooler time tonight, but also going to lead to a worry of refreeze as we head throughout the overnight hours, which means could see some black ice starting to develop on the roadways. Give yourself a little bit of extra time on the roadways and some stopping space between yourself and other cars. Now, Columbia, as we head off into Thursday, looking at a high of 28 degrees, a lot cooler, well below average. Jefferson City, 30 degrees, and off to the southwest, Lake of the Ozarks, 32 degrees. Still tracking plenty of sunshine now throughout the overnight hours. Going to continue to track a separate cool down, but into the weekend, we're warming back up. Columbia looking at a high of 46 degrees on Saturday. Then down in Jefferson City, 53 degrees, Sedalia 53. And Sunday, we're going to see another cool down. A front starts to pull back into the area. Going to bring a little bit of chance of some precipitation. A lot of that looking like rainfall, but could see some freezing rain into the overnight hours. Now Sunday looking at a high of 29 degrees. Lake of the Ozarks, 32. And down to the southwest once again towards Sedalia, 30 degrees. Going to be a cooler time for many portions of central Missouri, especially as we head off early into next week. In the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we're going to continue this trend for cooler than average for much of the northwestern United States, just because tracking separate low pressure systems pulling back through the area, which means winds residing back out of the northwest predominantly. So it's going to be a cooler time. Not a bad idea, though, if you're going to be traveling anywhere. Go down to the southeast. Temperatures looking warmer than average down towards Florida, but they are going to be dealing with some severe weather as they head off into the afternoon hours today. The same system that actually affected Texas going to be hitting them. Now, as we head off into this weekend, like I said, we see that front start to pull back in, going to cool us back down into Sunday. Temperatures continue to cool down into early next week. Monday, looking at more sunshine, but also looking at some cooler temperatures before we start to see some more chances of some wintry precipitation into next Tuesday and Wednesday.